Hi, I'm Carson, and I did Montana Stories of the Land, and this is for history, and I chose 9th to 12th grade in a high school setting. This book was published in 2008 by Far Country Press in Helena, Montana, which also our capital is located in. This really pertains to the three different categories I'm about to talk to about: the special ed, at-risk students, and ELL, and gifted and talented students. For one, there's a lot of pictures for the special ed and at-risk students, like this one right here, Livestock and the Open Range, from 1850 to 1887. And they have a lot of visuals for the special ed and the at-risk students. For the English language learners, they have vocabulary words that stick out with different colors. And with that, you could have a certain vocabulary word like outfits, and you could just show a picture of a cowboy since we're in that era of livestock and everything. Or you could have a picture of a saddle with the word saddle next to it. For my gifted and talented, I would have them write a poem or write a paper, or in their group, how many gifted and talented students there are. I'd have them create their own ranch and explain everything, like a brand, what brand they chose, the shape, size, the number of cows, the number of acres, where they would want it, and how they would produce their cattle. The things that I would use from this book would be the online tests and quizzes, and I would take some off of that and I'd break it down, and I'd have one test for multiple choice, one a written test, and I'd see how my students did on those two tests, and then if they did well on one, I'd choose that one and break it down a little bit more with a little bit of each. And then for the visuals, I'd also ask them to do PowerPoints, videos. PowerPoints, and then I would show the videos for the visuals. And then their assessment would be graded on the PowerPoints. They'd be graded on that. They'd be 2 for PowerPoint, and they would choose a section in the chapter. And then I'd also grade them on the movies we watched. We would watch movies pertaining to moving west and Montana's history with the Native Americans and Indian reservations, and sheep moving in and out, and the wars between sheep. For the English language learners and the special ed and at-risk students, and for the gifted and talented, I would bring in saddles, I'd bring in shinks, boots, cowboy hats, ropes. If I could, I'd bring in a couple of cows and a horse, which is used on a daily ranch. And that would be a visual, and then I'd go around explaining, like, a horse is your transportation on a ranch for your cows. Bloom's taxonomy, I think they used it very well because they cut this up. They have big words, a lot of visuals, and a lot of stories like this right here, musical gatherings, and catalogs for textbooks and books of the wonder. So this musical gathering, the highlight of a ranch life, this is from a Nanny Tia Anderson, who ranched near Miles City in the 1880s. So this is coming straight from their journal, and it just tells a bit about how the cowboys and ranchers and ranch hands got together and had fun, and it's not just all work. For this, I'd like them to create a project by themselves, and I'd have them present it to the class, and that's what I'd use for an assessment besides their tests and quizzes and their papers. With their plan or project, I'd have a paper with that project, and they'd pick anything in this book to teach the class about. And that's why I chose Montana Stories of the Land. Thank you.